Hey, good morning, friends. Mark Holmes here with my buddy Cowboy Joe Boo, and as always, thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, this doesn't work. Let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods here on this, excuse me, Thursday morning. Wow, 28 days, 11 hours, 47 minutes, and 50 seconds away from kickoff of the 2019 season. The time is just rolling by, and it still amazes me that we've had this clock for almost 200 days. Almost 200 days. And it seems like, I know it seems like a long time, but in some regards, it seems like a blink of an eye. I look at my son, Michael Anthony, grown up now, and it seems like it was just yesterday that I remember seeing him born. And the time just goes by, and before you realize it, you're looking back and just saying, where did it go? It's one of the reasons why every day I try and pack in as much as I can. I bust my butt trying to improve my situation, trying to improve myself, and making sure that everybody around me knows how I feel about them and trying to make a difference. Because if you don't do things now, you're going to look back and realize it's too late. And you don't want to be that guy sitting there in a bar stool having a few drinks and saying, I could have been, I should have been, was supposed to be. You don't want to be that guy. And so you make the most of every opportunity. Which brings me to Jason Witten. Jason Witten, he's already got his place in Canton. It's just a matter of waiting that 5 years. But he realized something that this is it. This is the last opportunity. Let's go to this interview real quick and we'll have a little discussion after it.
And you've talked about you wouldn't have come back if you didn't think this team was a contender. Clearly, everyone believes this is a contender. You have all the things you've accomplished, future Hall of Famer. But have you allowed yourself to dream about what it would be like if you ended your career with a Super Bowl playing for the Dallas Cowboys?
Yeah, I did. I think early on when I made that decision, I did think about what the end goal would be, but shortly after I thought about that, I knew I had to go to work. And the one thing that I can share with these young players, and I think one of the reasons why I approach the game the way I do, is that this game will humble you so quickly, more so than anything I've ever experienced. And so you have to be prepared in every situation. And sometimes you're a young player, you think you're going to be around for a long time, you got your whole life ahead of you as far as playing, and it's gone. And you find yourself like me, and every day is so precious. And so you want to echo that message. It's different than the coach's message. But as players, guys say, I don't even remember those early years because it happened so fast. So I think this team's got what it takes. Certainly there's a lot of things that have to fall in place as it moves forward, but the biggest thing that I like is the way this team works. They approach it the right way, which that's all you can ask as a veteran player.
Yep, that's all you can ask as a veteran player. And that's the thing about it. Jason Witten knows time's up. It's all or nothing from here on out. He's going to give 100%. Sean Lee will give 100% because both of them realize their sports mentality. But even not just those guys, you have other guys that are still playing for their football lives. The Cowboys get a lot of grief from the talking heads and things like that. But, let's be honest about what the Cowboys have actually been able to accomplish. They haven't won the Super Bowl. I get that. And it's been too long. But it's not for a lack of getting players there to do it. I say there's other forces that have stopped us, between officials, between coaching, uh, the football bouncing the wrong way, and just crazy crap. I mean, but you've seen so many great players that have been there that have literally given everything for this team. And you see that right now. Now, like I said, the Cowboys have been given a lot of grief for what they do, but they have done something this year that's a little different than usual. They're putting it on the players. And by that I mean, when you have a 1 year contract or you're in a contract year, it's do or die. You are auditioning not only for this team, but for 31 other teams. And so that means directly how I do myself this season is going to affect my pocketbook from here going out. This may be my only opportunity to make it on team or last opportunity to make it on team. So you look at somebody like Lyle Collins, who, good Lord, Vosh Bombardi has killed, who has had a lot of different coaches, been moved around a lot and things. It's one of those situations where the Dallas Cowboys have been the mad scientists, having him from guard to tackle and back and forth. Um, and in some regards, I think they've stunted his growth, much the way they did with Byron Jones, going from cornerback to safety to cornerback. It took him a while to really get his footing. And even in Rico's case of saying you got to be a blocker when really maybe you should have focused on him being more of a patch sketching tight end. But be that as it may, Lyle Collins knows if I play lights out this year, either the Dallas Cowboys are going to pay back up the Brinks truck or I will on the free agent market because tackles get paid. Tackles get paid better than running backs, if you know what I mean. So it's on him to have a great season. And you could see that in practice yesterday. In practice, he got beat in a double spin move, and he's fighting. It's pissed off, it's anger, it's personal. And this is where the onus is on him because he wants to get that contract the next year. The same thing with a Robert Quinn. Now, he broke his hand and things like that, but you're seeing these guys that, I had kind of a bad year in Miami. I got a 1 year deal. I need to be fighting for that next deal for my football life. And even with the signing of Randall Cobb, he had a hamstring issue last year. He was down what he comes to Dallas because he wants to be here and things and looks at the opportunities that he has. And he is trying to make a difference and get better as far as his play on the field to get that next contract. But a guy who's been kind of left for dead because of his injury history and being kind of a tweener is Trayvon Austin. Trayvon Austin quietly has been picking it up and is actually challenging Randall Cobb for that starting role as the number 3. And the only problem with Austin is he's shown flashes, but he has had that injury history. Now, you don't know where it's going to work, but he is working his ass off to try and get there because he realizes I'm not going to get very many more chances, that the football end is near, and I need to do everything that I can. So this is one of the smart things that the Cowboys have done. We have a lot of free agents that we'll have next year. And if we have these guys perform, you're going to end up getting compensatory picks galore. And that's the way this whole thing comes in full circle. You have to not, like, when you start talking about can we pay Zeke, can we pay Dak, can we pay Amari Cooper, you have to look at everything in totality on how one piece is going to affect another. The Cowboys are trying to get the best deal possible with these players to save as much money as possible. That's Stephen Jones's DNA. I'm not going to pay too much. I'm not going to go ahead and borrow to go ahead and build. I'm going to go ahead and use what I got. I'm not using credit cards or payday loans. If you are a team that drafts well, then you want to make sure you have as many draft picks as possible. If you're a team that's got a lot of talent that's playing well, that becoming free agents, it behooves you to be able to say, okay, Lyle Collins, you did great. Go out and make $14 million a year playing for somebody else. We'll be happy to get a 4th round compensatory pick. Robert Quinn, great job, 10 sacks this year. Go out and get that $17 million deal. We'll be happy to take a 3rd compensatory pick. Because you see the Cowboys are finding guys where other teams aren't. You see other teams having to scour free agency to grab players here and there, but it's like a whole cycle where you have to get guys young and be able to play them immediately, let them go off and get paid, get value in return. And the problem for the Dallas Cowboys in the past has been our stars, when they're done, we've let them go. DeMarcus Ware, we cut him. We got nothing in return. Had we been, and would have been heresy, sacrilegious if I had said it the year before, if we had traded DeMarcus Lawrence the year before and gotten a draft pick, we've been in better shape. Des Bryant, he ends up getting cut. You get nothing in return, and you're left with dead money. Same thing with Tony Romo. But see, you look at a New England, and people get mad when I talk about New England, but when you see somebody doing something right, you want to imitate it. You want to find out, what are they doing so I can do a little of that. They get pieces, and they realize that a Matt Castle is somebody I can get something for. They realize that Jimmy Garoppolo is something I can get for. They realize that Trey Flowers signing a big contract with somebody else gets me a compensatory pick. And that's how they're able to stay on top, is they're able to reload with talent through the draft. 12 draft picks last year. And to end on this, again, time is short. Before you know it, you're out of time. So you have to make the most of each and every one of your opportunities. Every day you have to be driven, which is the Cowboys' motto this year, to do everything. Did I, at the end of the day, do everything that can make me the best football player, make me the best husband, best father, best whatever your career is. And if you do those things every single day that you're driven, you will succeed. That being said, I need to get my butt to my day job. And because, well, I got to have my day job. And I'm going to go out there and I'm going to go do my best. If you enjoy some of the stuff that I do at my day job and stuff, definitely check out my other channel, Jobu's Day Job Homes. That's my other channel. I'm putting up videos there where you can get some ideas of how to fix up your man cave or your house, or, you know, you never know where the hell I'm going to end up being because I end up doing so much different stuff. But subscribe to that. Once I get to 1,000, I'll be able to live stream remotely while I'm actually at my day job. It's kind of like, some days it's kind of like dirty jobs. Other days it's kind of very informative because you can learn a whole bunch of stuff. I welcome questions from fans. I've helped some people, actually some of the fans here. I've been to your house and done work at your house. So it's possible you could see your house on Jobu's Day Job Homes. So as always, friends, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Jobu Sports Report. I'll see you soon.